So the last time we covered a comic book here in the channel, we took a look in the Man-Bat comic from 1995, which was a very different and bizarre comic, and that's why I chose to do that one. But it's not a great story. In fact, I really did hate Batman in that comic, and what really drew my attention to it was the art that was very bizarre and kinda realistic, so that's why I thought it would be interesting to cover that one. But since I love the Man-Bat character very much, he's probably my ranking of top 5 Batman villains. That story in that comic isn't by far one of the best stories of the character, so I decided to cover another comic book from the character that was released much more recently in 2021, a 5-issue comic book series called Man-Bat. Because this one is much more interesting and has many other elements from the Batman lore, not only from the Batman lore, but from the whole DC Universe lore. And since it is a 5-issue comics, we're gonna cover half of it here, so 2 issues and a half. And then we cover the other ones in a part 2. So the first issue starts in Gotham City with Kirk Langstrom, the Man-Bat, having an argument with his wife Francine Langstrom. They both argue about the whole problem of Kirk Langstrom using his serum of the Man-Bat to become a monster. And Francine knows that he likes to use that serum, although Kirk tries to convince her that he's trying to cure deafness in people. And that's why he started the whole project of the serum. Not only cure the deafness of people, but from his own sister called Lisa, that we're gonna see later in the story as well. And after she leaves him to go away with her bags packed, Kirk decides to take the serum anyway, convincing himself in his thoughts that she will never see the perfection that is the Man-Bat creature. And then we have a surprising scene where Man-Bat flies away into the night and decides to take down some criminals that are robbing some technological devices, something that is quite heroic for the character. And these criminals are actually stealing a sound wave cannon, something that will play a big part in the whole series. So the Man-Bat takes down the criminals, but then Batman arrives at the scene and both have a fight as well. The criminals try to run away in a van, and Man-Bat flies after them, taking Batman along during the flight by a bat rope wrapped in his ankle. The chase ends with the van crashing and the criminals using the sound wave cannon against the Man-Bat. This is when the police arrives with Commissioner Gordon and Detective Bullock, but during the fight against the criminals, the Man-Bat destroys the cannon and a huge sound waves explosion occurs, and then we fade to black. Then Kirk Langstrom wakes up in the Batcave with Batman analyzing his DNA and telling him that the Man-Bat serum has done irrevocable damage to his cellular makeup because he had never seen the Man-Bat so aggressive and powerful as this night. He also tells Kirk that the explosion of the sound waves that he created caused great damage in the city and put many people in coma. Not only that, but caused many people closer to the blast to lose their hearing. Kirk feels very bad for it, but Batman tells him that every time he takes the drug, bad things happen, even though he tries to make something good. And that no matter how much he tries, he will never get Francine back, creating this whole mayhem as a Man-Bat. So then Batman delivers Kirk to the police so that they can take him back to the Blackgate prison, but obviously during the way he transforms back into the Man-Bat and breaks out of the vehicle escaping. Then we go to the Belle Reve Penitentiary where Amanda Waller shows up after hearing about the Man-Bat escape. And this is where we get a great surprise from the comic, because having Amanda Waller involved in the case only means one thing, that the Suicide Squad will be summoned by her to take care of the Man-Bat, and that was very unexpected and surprising for me. I loved it. This is where the first issue finishes, and then we go to the second issue that is literally called Man-Bat versus the Suicide Squad. And the story starts with a memory from Kirk Langstrom with his wife in the beginning of their relationship in a farmhouse that belongs to him. And you see them talking and kind of flirting, looking at the stars, a very romantic scene. Then we cut to today where Kirk Langstrom is using the same house as a hideout from the police, but the place is being surrounded by the Suicide Squad, and in this formation of the group we have Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, Killer Croc, and Harley Quinn. They attack the house and explode the windows, which obviously causes Kirk Langstrom to transform into the Man-Bat. All the team fight the monster, but the main attraction is the fight between Man-Bat and Killer Croc, which is just a fucking awesome idea. I mean, can it get better than this? Killer Croc versus Man-Bat? Give me this in live action right now. Between this fight, we cut back to Gotham City where we see some of the criminals of the gang that were stealing the Soundwave's cannon before, and they are in this secret facility that has gas released into a chamber. This gas affects their minds and they start to see many Man-Bats entering the chamber and attacking them. And we all know that gases that affect minds come from nobody else than the Scarecrow. Then it is revealed that he is the leader of this gang and that his men were stealing the cannon because he has a great interest in the weapon, something that will be explained later. We go back into the farmhouse where Killer Croc is fighting Man-Bat, and the fight continues, including taking place underwater, which is the natural environment of Killer Croc. But then he escapes once again and fights all the members of the squad, defeating them one by one, including their leader, that is Rick Flag, who was supervising the whole operation. Next, Man-Bat enters his house again, but then he receives a blow from a mallet, and we all know that this weapon belongs to Harley Quinn. She is able to knock the monster down and starts to drag him upstairs into the house. Then the issue ends with Harley Quinn becoming a psychologist again, with the promise of treating the Man-Bat for the next issue. Then the issue number 3 starts with Man-Bat having a dream where he is a great hero of Gotham, and he is celebrated by its people, including Batman and his wife Francine Langstrom, which is something that I love because it's a kind of layer to the character, because he doesn't see himself as a villain. Next, he wakes up back in his house tied up and with Harley Quinn in the sofa next to him, ready to start her appointment with him. Man-Bat growls and tries to get out of the ropes, but there's no way out, and Harley Quinn starts to treat him, telling him what will happen next if he continues to be this monster. And this is a great scene of this comic because it uses the character of Harley Quinn in a very interesting and different way, taking advantage of these elements of being a shrink. And she doesn't hold back by taunting him and messing with his head, by predicting the future of the Man-Bat and all the bad things that will happen to him in the future, including being trapped by scientists to be studied, all of them controlled by Amanda Waller, of course, that Batman will try to stop the torture but to no avail. She also injects a serum in him, turning him back into Kirk Langstrom, warning him that he must have some women issues in his life. And by that, she warns that Amanda Waller will send more 2 girls to try to catch him, none other than Katana and the Enchantress, another 2 members of the team. And during this, Amanda Waller is trying to contact her from the base, but to no avail. And Harley shows some compassion towards the Man-Bat because in the end she realizes that he's not indeed a bad person. He's not a monster that must be killed, but just a guy that needs to handle his own issues. And with this, she releases him and tells him to punch her in order to make appearances that she was also defeated by the Man-Bat. Again, a great scene and a great use of the character Harley Quinn. I absolutely love how they give her this layer of character in a very short time. And this is a great point for us to finish this coverage of the 5-issue comic. We will continue the next week probably to see the other issues and see what's gonna happen to the Man-Bat. So don't forget to leave a like in this video and subscribe to the channel in order to receive this new video in the future. Alright? Thank you very much. See you in the next Bat video and bye bye.